What up? It's your girl Sharice, and I have a special guest on the line right now. He's a former member of the group Brutha, and he's here to share what's going on with him now. Mr. Anthony Harrell, what's good?
What's good, Sharice? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for gracing my show with your presence.
Dude, thanks for having me. It's just a wonderful thing when people ask me to do interviews because I don't do a lot, so I appreciate it.
Man, well, my pleasure. So we're going to jump right into the interview. So everyone knows that you're from the iconic group Brutha. Is it safe to say that you were truly their lead singer?
Yes. In business terms and in entertainment terms, I was the one out front and I was singing the most. So in that regard, I was the lead singer of Brutha, but I never considered myself the lead singer. As a matter of fact, before we had a deal, me and my other four brothers used to split the leads equally. And it wasn't until we got a deal when they was like, it was their idea. They were like, okay, put Anthony out in front. So, but yeah, I guess I was the lead singer of Brutha.
Okay. Now, for those who don't know, can you tell them where you guys are based out of, like what state and city?
Sure. We all grew up in Los Angeles, California, different aspects of the city. We all grew up in Los Angeles as kids and then moved to the Valley when we were teenagers. But right now we all live in the Valley, so San Fernando Valley.
Okay.
That's where we all reside.
Okay. How was the group discovered?
Ooh, in aspects of Brutha, we were discovered by my uncle at first, my Uncle Drano, who obviously that's all of our blood uncle. He came over our house one day, and I had been like beating down the walls like with beats, and we was recording tons of songs, and I guess, you know, my uncle came over and he was like, yo, what's up? And my brother JR was like, yo, you need to come mess with us, man. We over here doing some crazy stuff. And so through JR hooking up with my uncle, Drano, he took us into Shakir Stewart, who was at the time, I think he was vice president of Def Jam, if I'm not mistaken, and that was his boy. So he took us into Shakir Stewart. Shakir loved us, and it was Shakir's idea to take us into Jermaine Dupri, who was something else at Def Jam at the time. He only went 1 year at Def Jam, but he was like president of Def Jam the year we got signed. Took us into JD. Wow. JD loved us, and it just all worked out. It happened so fast that we were probably signed within 2 weeks. So shout out to my Uncle Drano. Yeah, deals sometimes take months, but we were signed in 2 weeks because of my Uncle Drano, Shakir Stewart, and Jermaine Dupri.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, before the group was formed, did you guys have any solo careers?
No. Actually, no, I take that back. We didn't have any solo careers that were like, it was all underground. So my brother JR, he was the rapper of the group until he learned how to sing. Now he's a singer and rapper, but he came out from Denver, Colorado, joined the group, and I produced a record on him, independent, but we only sold like 1,000 copies out of the trunk. But nobody ever was like officially. I was offered. The crazy thing is, before we got our deal with Def Jam, I was offered like 2 or 3 deals like solo. I turned them down. I was just like, and it wasn't because I thought I couldn't do it. It was I want to sing with my brothers, you know. So no, we never had that. Man, it's not even loyalty, but I won't go that far because I don't want to give myself that much credit. But I will say it was a desire to just want to do something great with my family. It was just I knew we all had something special, and it wasn't just me.
Okay. In 2002, you guys made a grand appearance, and you were introduced by Brian McKnight on the 2003 Soul Train holiday special. What was that moment like for you? Did you feel like you had finally made it, or how were you feeling at that time?
Yeah, man, that was probably one of the top 10 moments of my musical career, only because me and my older brother Grady used to listen to, we grew up with Brian McKnight's music when we were like 17, 18, 19. We used to go to sleep to his music and like have sex with girls, excuse my language.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, cool. But so to meet him and then for that to happen, of course, in the moment, you're just thinking, I want to do my best. I got to kill it. So you're not recognizing the moment in the moment. I didn't recognize it until after. A couple of years later, I'm like, man, I can't believe we did that ish. Like, so top 10 moments for me. Brian McKnight was like amazing to me.
Yeah, he is amazing. What label did you guys get signed to after you guys did the show with Jermaine Dupri on the Most Access? I guess the sub name was Jermaine Dupri Presents Brother. Did you guys get signed to another deal, or was that the same deal?
No, it was the same deal. We had got signed to Def Jam in LA, and then we went. It was their idea to send, because JD is from Atlanta, so it was their idea to send us to Atlanta and get, like, what do they call it? Artist development. Even though we was already developed, but we needed it to be more developed. So then they sent us out there for 6 months, recorded a bunch of songs, recorded a whole album, then did the Jermaine Dupri Presents, special, and then, but we were still signed to Def Jam, and then everything happened from there.
Okay. How do you feel about how the show portrayed you all?
I'm on the fence about it, and I'll tell you why. On one hand, it portrayed us in an honest light. That's on one hand. On the other, I was just talking to somebody about this. It's crazy you asked me that. But on the other hand, it's like we didn't know going in that it was going to have the backlash that it did in regards to, okay, I'm a drinker. But when people when a network just throws cameras in your face, I mean, there's no rehearsing, like, hey, let's rehearse this scene. And I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to drink, and somebody else is going to, be with a girl, and somebody else is going to get in a fight. So then after you look at it and the backlash comes, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know y'all was doing this for this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. But I appreciate the experience. Like, I'm not mad at it. So all in all, I appreciate it, man, because me and my brothers really had love for one another, even though we fought all the time, and we let people into our homes, like our hearts. They were able to see the real us. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Right. And I totally feel like it was definitely authentic to a certain degree. And like you said, you can't just rehearse and be like, oh yeah, so today I'm going to drink like one beer. And it's not, and we're not going to argue, like,
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you. You said it was. I'm sorry to interrupt you, sweetie, but you said it was real to a certain degree. So I want to know what degree in your mind that it wasn't real. Like, how was it?
In my opinion, because I was a kid watching this now, but in my opinion, I feel like it made it seem like you were like. When the camera was on you, speaking about you specifically, it kind of made it seem like you were a hothead. And to me, it didn't paint you in like the best way it could have been presented when it came out on TV. Like, they didn't have to show that you had problems. Everybody has problems, right?
Yes.
But I feel like it was amplified while it was being broadcasted on television. And that was why I said it was authentic to a certain degree. Like,
absolutely.
It show your best, the best days. So that's
and that's, remember when I said I was on the fence? So on that other hand, that's what I didn't appreciate in regards to how I was portrayed, because it was like people, the show don't even know, like, I'm a family man. I cook every day. I take care of people. I let people into my house, my boys. It didn't show none of that. It just showed my drinking and my violence. You know what I mean?
Right.
And me being a hothead. And that's just a portion of the type of person I am. So in that regard, I didn't like it.
I totally understand where you're coming from with that. I didn't like it either. Like, I definitely feel like it could have painted you guys, especially you, in a better light. So, your album Brother, it sold 100,000 copies. You guys went platinum. Did you guys reap the benefits from the album?
It depends on what type of benefits you're talking about.
Like, I mean, when you get platinum record selling, you definitely receive a good income off of that. And I'm not sure what type of deal you guys had. So did it pay off, or how did it go?
To answer that question, just outright, yes, it did pay off. But I will tell you this.
That's amazing. I'm glad, because a lot of people don't know that.
I'll break it down for you, like real quick. So I'm not going to get into the business side of it too much because that gets really boring. But I will say this: did we all become rich off of it? Heck no. But we all know how the business is and how the business is set up. Like, most artists don't become rich. I mean, you have to, like, now it's just like people aren't even selling like millions of albums no more. It's like downloads and all that stuff. And we came out before that was all super popular. But with that being said, how we came up off of it and how we gained was number one, all of our experiences, getting to perform and meet almost all of our idols. And then all of that inspired, people that we inspired, and all of that carrying over to what we're doing now in our individual rights. Me on my own, Jake and Pop are doing their thing. Me and Grady perform at weddings and stuff. We make really good money. And then JR, he's doing his thing. So it spilled over, and I think everybody would be happy, except I still want to be rich, though. It didn't make me rich.
Right.
Financially.
Okay. I feel that. Now, you just mentioned, like, meeting your idols and stuff. Did you guys ever get to perform on 106 in Park?
Yeah, we performed on 106 in Park, I think, 3 times in 2 years. And it was great. Like, I think our best performance was, like, I forgot what it was called. It was like 106, and it was like on New Year's Eve. I'm bad with dates, but it was like 2000... What are we in? 2005, 2006, 2007, something like that. But it was like a party on 106 in Park. You can look it up.
Okay, that's what's up. 106 in Park used to be my thing to watch.
It was 106 in Party. Yeah, that's what it was called. And Terrence was the host, along with what was the other girl's name that used to host with him?
Roxy.
Yeah, Roxy. There you go, Roxy.
Okay, awesome. I know you guys went to award shows. What was the coolest award show that you went to?
For me, personally, we went to the Hip Hop Awards. Again, I'm bad with dates, so I just guessed and say 2009. It was the Hip Hop Awards, and saw a lot of people that I love, man, like LL. I think he was the host of it. Nas came out and performed. This was like, I think, the year after... oh my gosh, this is where my brother Grady, Pimp C. I think it's the year after Pimp C had died. Okay. That was the best award show I went to.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, there was some years that went by before you dropped your second album. Well, you guys dropped your second album. I think it didn't drop till like 2011. Why was there such a long gap?
Well, first of all, our second album never officially dropped. Let's just make that clear.
Okay.
We recorded our second album, and it was absolutely amazing. This is when everything went.
Hello?
They release an album if the group is broke up and they can't go perform the song. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. I can ask the question again. And then
sure. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So there were some years that went by before your second album dropped. It actually didn't release, but it was supposed to release in 2011. Why was there such a long gap in between your first and second album?
Because this was the year right before our Vacancy. Actually, it was called Vacancy, by the way. Right before the Vacancy album was about to drop, that's when me and my brothers, hard times came and we broke up, unfortunately. And the record company could have put it out. It was the most amazing album. And hey, Michael, can you please be quiet? That's my son. I'm trying to get him to be quiet while I'm doing this interview. It was our best product of work. And how do you put an album out if the group isn't together to go perform it and go on tour, you know?
Right.
It never came out. So the only people that have it are us, you know, the producers and the writers and certain people that we let hear it. Other than that, it never came out. Yeah, sucks.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, because I loved you guys. Well, oh my God, I loved y'all so much. Like, I have friends who still talk about you guys. Like,
what?
It's funny. Yes, we do. You know, I told you I'm in the military, so when I have drill on the weekends, a lot of the girls, they're all my age, so they watch you guys growing up. So we definitely,
That's
and
crazy.
I told them, I had to tell them. They were hyped that I was interviewing you. So.
Oh my gosh.
Is it safe to say that you guys initially ended the group just based off of hard times, or did somebody like just make an executive decision amongst you guys, and one of you guys were like, you know what, we just got to end this?
Now this is where it gets dicey, very dicey.
Okay.
Extremely dicey, to the point where this has never been talked about. Ever. Me and my brothers have been broken up now for 10 years, and this specific subject has not gotten an answer from any of us directly. We haven't talked about it with each other, haven't talked with my uncle about it, so I'm going to be the first one to try to tell you what the facts, or what I think the facts are. So,
all right, we're listening.
Okay. This is deep. This is like talking to a psychologist right now. So what happened was, of course, it's due to hard times. We all know how tough this music industry can be, right? It can, between, the girls and the money and egos and the control factor and the unknown and all that stuff, and it's driving you crazy because you don't think you're making enough money. And, it's just a lot of stuff. But that wasn't what broke us up.
Wow.
We could have endured all that had we, because before we got a deal, we were tight, really tight. We had a tight unit, and we fought before we had a deal. We fist fought, we argued, we insulted each other, we end up forgiving each other. It was cool. We were hella tight. But the industry has a different energy. And if you're not ready for that energy, then it's going to eat you alive. And I'll just chalk it up to that. But I will tell you this. I'll tell you my responsibility for what I think. So I couldn't take it. I'm not going to speak for my brothers anymore.
Okay.
I'm my own person. I'm going to speak for myself right now. I left my uncle, and I'm not ashamed to say it anymore. I didn't want to ever leave my brothers, ever in a million years, and there's no way they would ever tell you that, because if they did, I know they would be fabricating. So my uncle was our manager. This is the business side. He was our manager, and he was the CEO of the record company we were signed to, which is called Goodfellas. And he was our uncle. So imagine my uncle was trying to do too much. He's a real strong-minded dude, and I really appreciate everything he's done for us and everything he did for us. I never have anything bad to say about him. But somebody that thinks they can do it all ends up seeing just how he saw you can't. You have to allocate different jobs to different people. He wanted to be our manager. He wanted to be the CEO of the record company and our uncle talking that ish at the same time. And ultimately, hearing from him every day on all those three different levels, he used to call me 100 times a day. What I had to do, get your brothers to do this, I need to put up this video, do that. And he's not too nice of a person. That's just the truth. He's a hothead. You think I'm a hothead? That dude is like times 100. I grew up around this dude, and that's probably where I got it from. So he was trying to do too much, and ultimately I was just like, I can't do this no more. With you talking all this ish to me, like he was talking to me like I was a little boy sometimes. I'm a grown ass man, dog. Not like, please, can y'all do this? Like, nigga, you gonna do this? I'm gonna whoop your ass, like that type stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's just my unc. That's unc. Everybody knows that's him. So it's not like I'm tattletelling on that nigga. So With that being said, it just got to a point where I told my brothers, yo, I can't do this no more, man. I can't do this. It's taking Uncle Drano is taking the happiness out of doing music. So I left once. And by leaving, I just left for like a week and disappeared. They was like, where's Ann at? And I'm like, yo, man, if I'm going to come back to the group and we're going to do this, something's got to change. So I sat down with my uncle. He promised me things would change. And, of course, I came back. He started doing the same things all over because that's just who he is. And then I was just like, ultimately, I fired my uncle as a manager. That's all I did. Sent the letters like, yo, uncle, I can't hire you as manager no more. We're going to have to get somebody else to come in and do the management thing. And all my brothers thought that I wanted to leave the group, and that's absolutely not the case. As a matter of fact, the day that I fired my uncle as our manager, I sent a mass email or text out to my brothers like, yo, we need to sit down and talk. We can go on as brother and still be continue to be successful. We just need a new manager. And none of my brothers wanted to sit down, except my brother Grady. That is the absolute truth, and I've never said it until this day. My brother Grady, my older brother Grady, is the only one that wanted to have a sit-down meeting and talk about it. My other brothers was like, nah, we don't even want to talk. And they wanted to go on and do their own thing, and that's where we are today.
Wow. So it was kind of a miscommunication between your brothers because they thought you wanted to leave the group, and all you did was just fire the manager because you felt like you guys could move forward without the his extra ways that he was, putting on you.
Yes, and you say miscommunication, but I'll change the word. I don't know what to change the word to, but miscommunication is when two people are communicating and they're combative, and you think one thing, I think another. Nah, this is them not wanting to communicate at all. So it's not even miscommunication; it's no communication. That's even worse than miscommunication.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no communication? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, there it is there.
Well, I'm glad you guys, it seems like you guys are still tight and everything is still well with you guys, though. And so that's a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah, we went through some years of not talking, but now we're good.
And that's great, Yeah. The industry is crazy, and I've heard a lot of different stories, and I've interviewed different people, so I understand where you're coming from. So I'm just happy that you guys have made it past that, because some people don't get that chance to do that or choose.
Oh my gosh!
Be positive and move forward. So that's amazing for you guys.
Yeah.
Now I've been checking out your Instagram. And I know that you're a family man, and you have a daughter who can really sing. She definitely got her skills from you. How do you feel about her getting into the industry?
I'll leave it up to her. Like I gave her the tools to do so and make the decision that she wants to make, and I can only provide her with the yellow cones, like the dangers of it all. But she has a love for it, so it's just like there's dangers in all businesses. You know what I mean? No matter what, almost the same dangers. So she knows what it is, and she has a love for it. And she really wants to do it, and so I support whatever it is she wants to do.
Okay. If she came to you and asked you to be her manager, is that something that you would want to do?
Yes, absolutely, but never with a contract, of course, because that's my daughter and I'm her father. But I would provide managerial skills, like as far as the advice that she needed, what I think she needed to be doing, and of course, I'll probably take my 10% just for teaching her how to sing. My manager's 10%.
Okay, cool. Now, are you currently working on any new projects? Can you give us the scoop?
Yeah. Before I give you the scoop about the new projects I'm working on, I will tell you this, and this is what a lot of people don't know, is that when Brother broke up, you realize I've put out 4 projects since we broke up, but nobody really knows about them because of legal reasons and legal stuff. They're all under the radar. I did it independently. I couldn't put it on the internet, or so I would have got sued. So I put out 3 solo projects like myself. One was the first one. It was called Kathy. The second one was called Finally. The third one was a few years ago called The Songbook of Eli and the Life of Michael Wonder. And then I put out this compilation album called West with like me and 6 of my homies that rap and stuff. But I definitely want to work on a new project. I haven't done music in 3 years. I take that back. I've done music on other people, but I haven't worked on a project for myself in about 3 years, and I'm getting the fever now. I had to get my head straight and get my mind in the right place, and it finally is. And so I don't even know when the new project is coming, but I can guarantee it's going to be in the next year, and it's going to be really different and happy. Like, I've been like angry on a lot of my other projects that I put out because that's what I was. I was angry. I was cussing a lot. This one won't be like that because I'm in a happy place.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear it, and I hope I can hear your other projects. I promise I won't put your underground projects out, but I would love to hear them.
Oh man, I could send them to you. I have them all, like actually the hard copies. I have a hard copy of all of them.
All right, awesome. Well, we'll talk after this interview, then, because that's what's up. Now, what's some advice you could give someone that wants to be in the industry and that you wish that you would have known when you first started in the industry?
The best advice I can give is what, in hindsight, is, and this is what I'm 42 years old, and this is what I finally learned. It took me this long, can you believe that? But it's the business side. This is what my uncle is so amazing about. My uncle Drano, his business savvy is ridiculous. Like, I've always been just a person who wants to sing. You know what I mean? On some music soul child-ish. I just want to sing. Like, I never thought about paperwork and percentages and publishing and you know, none of that stuff I even cared about. Like, why do we have to go through all this? Why can't I just sing and make some money? Nope. If you don't get your business savvy straight, then you ain't never gonna make no money. And for me, now that I got multiple kids, that's what it's about for me, even more so than the music now. Like, I know the music is gonna be there. I'm gonna make some good music. I want to get my business savvy straight. So if you're a new artist, learn the business before you get into it. That's my advice.
Okay. And before you go, can you please share your social media information with our listeners?
Yeah. Only couple of ones I go on is my Instagram one, which is it's my Instagram, Aunt Brother, Aunt Harrell. Oh, it's Boise's Music. I'm tripping. Mine is my record company. So my independent record company is called Boise's Music. So it's spelled Boyzees Music. That's my personal Boise's Music. And then I'm on my wife's, which is, what is yours? Kathy S. Harrell or Kathy Harrell?
Oh, Kathy S. Harrell.
So it's Kathy with a K, S. Harrell. Kathy S. Harrell. I'm always on hers. And then I'm on Facebook, and I think Facebook is just my name, which is Anthony Harrell. Harrell. That's, yeah.
Awesome. I'll add you on Facebook.
Okay.
Accept my friend request.
I will, of course.
Well, like I said again, it was a pleasure having you on my show. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, you brought some things out of me. You're going to find out pretty soon that you brought some things out of me that a lot of people are going to hear, especially my loved ones, that it's going to touch some, what do you call it? It's going to touch, not even souls. It's going to touch people's in different ways. Like, I know my brothers, hopefully they hear it. Hopefully my uncle hears it, but it's going to do something. It's going to do, I don't know what it's going to do, but hopefully it does something positive. And I think you're responsible for that.
Well, I pray that it's positive. Like, you know, that's what I definitely represent. So thank you again. Like I said, I hope I have you on my show again. And it was a pleasure to interview you.
Thank you so much, Reese.
It's your girl, Sharice, and I'm out.
Digital Dope Radio.